Yo, welcome. We back. You know, it's King Timmons. You know what it is. Don't forget to like, subscribe, feel me, and watch the video as much as y'all can, because we're going to get some insight on this Joe Rogan experience. Episode 2334, but with Kash Patel. Feel me? About to get into this. Go ahead and dissect what is going on. Go ahead and you're going to hear my opinions, my everything that I think is going on it. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole 2 hours, but I will definitely try to get an hour in for y'all. And me, I might skip it up here and there. Let's get it. Let's start off. Come on.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
I'm about to skip right into it.
Two homicides an hour in this country. And we have a 38,000 person workforce. And I said, okay, where are the agents? Where are intel analysts? Where is everybody? We got 55 field offices. We got 300 what we call RAs, resident agencies. So satellite offices to field offices in major cities. And they said, well, we've got 11,000 FBI employees in what we call the NCR, the National Capital Region. So if you take D.C. and you do a 50-mile, 60-mile radius around it, 11,000, almost a third of the workforce work there. And they said,
okay, so right now, let's break it down. What's even going on real quick, just so everybody can have an understanding of everything that's going on. So right now, I'm guessing he's breaking down how everything works right now. And okay, so what I'm thinking about what's going to happen, they're breaking down how everything works. They're going to go to deeper and deeper after that right now. So this is just context for what's about to happen later, pretty much.
What the hell are they doing there?
What they talk about later.
They said, well, they mandated if you want a promotion, if you want to move up, you got to come back here and prioritize stuff here. So I said, look, we're moving agents and intel analysts to the field. And that's what I did. 1,500 people are going to the field because a third of the crime doesn't happen in Washington, D.C. and the 65 miles around it. And everybody was like, we've been wanting to do this forever. I mean, just think about it. One agent out in Indian country, one agent out in Texas, Arkansas, Washington State prevents a homicide, conducts a major drug bust, stops a ton of fentanyl or meth from coming into our country. One agent can do that. And the agents that I talk to now from around the country are just stoked.
That's awesome. That's great news. That really is great news, because the fentanyl thing scares the shit out of me. It really does.
Well, it's one of the things I want to.
Yo, fentanyl is crazy drug, man. I never took it, but same time, you hear it in the news or you see what's going on. You might even get lucky, because that's what they lace. That's what they lace with. So even if you're smoking weed, anything like that, like, you better be careful who the person that's selling to that shit, because you never know. A lot of people can lace that shit.
Hammer down on,
That shit will have you fucking tweaking out your mind, gang. Should fuck around and kill you.
But whenever you want to get into that.
Yeah, please. Yeah. It's so terrifying. Because, we've shown it on the podcast, the amount that'll kill you.
Yeah.
It's so small. It's like the tip of a pencil.
He said the tip of a pencil of fentanyl can kill you. Like the same amount that's like the tip of a... Y'all know how small the tip of a pencil is? That shit is like this. Wow, that's fucking
Yeah, it's
crazy.
like point something milligrams. It's nothing. I'll give you...
Wow.
I put this to big programming.
Yo, y'all gotta be careful out there you gotta make sure that if you getting weed, go to the dispensary now. Everything legal. It's no point even unless they selling it for a good price. But people be selling for a good price and try to mix dirt up, throw fentanyl on it, make it a little more gas. That's how you can get fucking your life taken. So be careful, man.
Love doing this long form stuff, and this is the only long form interview I'm going to do. I hope you know.
Oh, thank you.
I do one interview.
I'm honored.
I do one interview a month. One. And it's usually like a 5-minute TV thing just to keep abreast. And we do a lot of stuff on social media. But I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Even when I was on the campaign, I was just, this is like the best way to get information out. So fentanyl, right? Everybody's like, how do you attack fentanyl? How do you stop this stuff? Okay, yes, let's go after the narco terrorists down in Mexico. 100%. You got to go after the cartels, the drug trafficking organization.
Because everything comes from the cartel, man. Like, if you don't bust that, but that whole syndication of higher organizations, that's why he corrected himself and didn't say gangs, because it's a higher organization. And it's not just something you can just crack down on because you lock out one person, they got a replacement. For me, it's like an employees. You know what I'm saying? When you have a fucking business, they don't really give a fuck about the employees. If you want to take down a business, you got to take down them from the top. and feel me, destroy their ecosystem that's going on within the organization, man. Shit's crazy.
You got to shore up the southern border. The president has done an amazing job at both of those things, made it a priority. So we have decreased the amount of fentanyl being moved around, let's say, right? But not necessarily coming into the United States. So where's the root of the problem? The CCP. So the fentanyl precursors, the stuff you need to make fentanyl, comes from mainland China. That's it. Now, I'm sure like 1% of it comes from somewhere else in the world.
Okay, so they're saying that the cartel gets the things to make fentanyl from China. So this is a worldwide criminal syndication. We're not stopping this.
But that's where it comes. They've got hundreds of companies standing up in mainland China shipping this stuff out.
They said they have hundreds of companies shipping out the ingredients for fentanyl. Nah,
Into the world.
Crazy.
Now, their cover is that fentanyl has, and it does have a legitimate lawful purpose in terms of an anesthetic or medical use for anesthesiology related stuff. Okay, so there's like a minimal use for it.
Okay, so they're using it under the pretext of you can use it for, and he said anesthesia or anesthesial, whatever that shit's called. But basically, ain't nobody using it for that shit. Like, come on now, like.
And what the CCP has done is they've come out and said this is like the biggest, like, talk about the devil pulling the wool over the world's eyes. They're like, we don't make fentanyl. They're right, they don't. They just give you all the ingredients for it and ship it to Mexico. And then what they did was, to trick the world, they came out and said, hey, we're going to not sell precursor X. They're like, so now we're out of the fentanyl trade entirely. The problem is there's 14 other precursors you can use to make fentanyl, and they're still shipping all of those. So what we did...
So they got rid of one, but still have 14 other ones. Like, yo, they're trying to finesse what the fuck is going on. Yo, there's criminal syndication. I mean, but like, listen. For me, it's yin and yang. You can't have real life good organizations and stuff like that without the bad ones. And the like, you can't. There's no way to stop the whole thing. The only thing you can do is control it, and the only way you're going to control it is by supply and demand. You have to have people stop wanting it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way.
When I got to the bureaus, we stood up this massive enterprise to go after fentanyl precursor companies in mainland China. And they're probably not going to like that. And what they're doing now to get cute is they're shipping that stuff not straight to here. They're going to places like India, and I'm also doing operations in India. And they're having the Mexican cartels now make this fentanyl down in Mexico still. But, you know, instead of going right up the southern border and into...
This is a worldwide thing. I did not know it was this deep. For me, so... Mexico's the main distribution, the main distribution to be able to sell fentanyl. China is the main developer of the ingredients to make it. India is the distribution headquarters now, is what he's saying, so that way they can go through a third party to get it to someone else to say that they're not bringing it to Mexico, because now they're on a hot radar. So now they're incorporating other countries. Wow.
America, you know what they're doing? They're flying it into Vancouver. They're taking the precursors up to Canada, manufacturing it up there, and doing their global distribution routes from up there because we were being so effective down south.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge lift, but part of it is Americans just don't understand the depth and depravity of fentanyl. But what's worse is fentanyl, you don't hear of fentanyl deaths in China. You don't hear of fentanyl deaths in India. You don't really hear of fentanyl deaths in England, Australia, New Zealand, our Five Eyes partners in Canada. The Chinese, in my opinion, the CCP, have used it as a directed approach because we are their adversary and they don't like us and we don't like what they're doing when it comes to fentanyl.
Wow. So basically, as a strategy to hurt America, China is sending drugs to hurt the American people, which in turn hurts America. what the fuck? It all goes back down to, for me, at the end of the day, for me, these are countries versus countries. These are conquerors versus conquerors. Wow, this whole logic. I didn't know it was that in depth. Like, now that you think about it, it's right. Because if you don't hear about fentanyl deaths anywhere else for real, and it's really just America, that shit is targeted.
And their long-term game is this. How do I, in my opinion, kneecap the United States of America, our largest adversary? Well, why don't we go and take out generations of young men and women who might grow up to serve in the United States military or become a cop or become...
Dang, they're trying to change people's whole wavelength. Wow, that's why you really, really got to watch it. This shit is deep. Basically, they're saying they're trying to hurt the next generations of Americans so that way they don't feel like becoming a part of society in a way that helps America. And they want them to be degenerates. Wow.
Become a teacher. And that's what they're doing when you wipe out tens of thousands of Americans a year. It's a long-term plan for them.
Oh, that is such a dark,
that is crazy.
Dark thing.
It is, but we're on it.
That is crazy, man. That is wild. That is fucking
What else
wild.
could be done, like with the Chinese companies? I mean, has there ever been any negotiation with Xi Jinping, with the United States, or where you could lighten up tariffs or do something and make some sort of a deal? Or is it just so profitable for them that they're going to do it no matter what if they can?
Here's the thing. They're not making a ton of money off of it. Right?
Oh, so it's really just...
So they're not even making that much money off of it? They're just doing it for straight, I hate you. I want y'all destruction. I want y'all death. So we're going to start by killing as many people as we can throughout your generation so you have less intelligent people that can help you, America, in positive ways. What the fuck?
Just for
right.
that purpose.
You could sell fentanyl precursors, and unless you jacked up the price to exorbitant amounts of money, they're not making a ton of money. And so it's an all-of-government approach. So I'm working with guys like the Secretary of Treasury to do sanctions on some of these companies, right? Then I'm working with our Five Eyes partners, and our Five Eyes are the 5 English-speaking countries in the world. Canada, America, England, New Zealand, and Australia. Right? We share intelligence. We share classified intelligence on this stuff. So I'm asking them. I said, "Hey, it's not just affecting us; it will affect you and your population. The CCP just hasn't directed it at you yet, and they know that." And I said, "Guys, I need your help. I'm looking at intelligence reporting that shows fentanyl precursors are now in your country." The fentanyl itself isn't being deployed into your country, but it's there being manufactured. And so I'm asking for their help to shut down those factories and production facilities. And I'm asking the Mexican...
You know how much work this takes? He's coordinating a strategy to stop the distribution, the making of fentanyl, but he's trying to go to the source, and the source was sending it to us, but he's trying to get them with data and understanding that eventually that this fentanyl shit will also hurt you, even though it's not hurting you right now. He's trying to convince them that this needs to stop. Wow, that's fucking crazy. Of different countries, that people that don't even fuck with America regardless. So he's kind of putting his own life at risk.
Governments help to come and say, hey, your drug trafficking organizations are now exporting the manufacturing of fentanyl and getting creative in the ways in which they obtain fentanyl precursors. So they'll say, oh, we didn't get it from China. We got it from India. We got it from, wherever. And it's too cute by half. It's not like there's been a reduction in the amount of fentanyl precursors that mainland China produces. What there has been a reduction in is President Trump's administration's aggressive approach to just crush the fentanyl trafficking. And unfortunately, our adversaries adapt. We're so good down south on the border here, and we're so good in Mexico that they're moving it elsewhere.
Wow.
Jesus.
We're going to get them. I promise you. I promise the president and the American people, we will not have kids dying of fentanyl overdoses in our streets. Just give me a little bit more time. We have a massive operation going on around the world on this.
See, this is it's such crazy shit that's going on in the world. Like, if I was him, like he has a job where I would be proud to actually have, because this is a serious thing that's really affecting our society. It's really actually killing tens of thousands of people, which some of those people could be the next scientists, the next doctors, the next politicians, the next people in the military. There's a lot of people that can grow up to be amazing individuals, amazing people for the American society and help us grow. But we can't even do that because they're being destroyed from these drugs. Wow. Before they even have a chance.
Well, that's great news. It's great to hear. So the fentanyl, a lot of it is it's not just fentanyl overdoses, right? It's opiate overdoses overall. How much is a lot of it because people get hooked on pills and then they want more and then they can buy black market pills and those are the ones that have fentanyl in it, or is it Molly and things like that have been laced with fentanyl?
So, great question. Nobody asks these questions. It's probably why your show's number one. They are so demonic in their ways. They're like, we'll make fentanyl, and people can go use fentanyl and get killed on fentanyl. Then what they do is they manufacture, as part of this lift, they being the drug trafficking organizations, once they get the precursors from the CCP, they take their pill presses and they make fake oxycodone. So literally, I'm just giving you an example. Make tens of thousands of pills of fake oxycodone, and we bust them for it. And in that fake pill is fentanyl. It's laced with fentanyl that kills people.
Wow.
Then the drug trafficking organizations, to make it appealing for the youth, shape this illicit narcotic in the form of candy and gummy bears. So you hear about kids in New York who just happen to have a trace amount touching it somewhere, also dying from it. So they have absolutely no rules or boundaries whatsoever when it comes to how they deploy fentanyl to get into our population. It could be through another drug. It could.
They're trying whatever they can to kill niggas. Y'all have to understand, this is crazy. And they not going to
be through
stop.
A synthetic. It could be through a fake drug. Wow. Or it could be hey, and we've seized it. Thousands of pounds of material that looks like candy.
Are they doing it specifically to try to get people to overdose on candy, or are they selling this candy as a drug?
They're selling it as a drug.
Okay. And they're just saying it looks like candy.
It just looks appealing to kids, right? Inner city youth, they're like, hey, put a pill down on the table, put a gummy bear down on the table. A younger person's going to be like, oh, that's cool. Let me try that. I mean, I can tell you stories from now until the entire show about high school kids on the verge of graduating, and they went out and took a pill that they thought was, an upper, but it happened to be laced with fentanyl. They died.
Wow. That's fucking sad.
Their parents are calling. They're destroyed. And people are like, well, we got to go after the drug traffickers. I'm like, we do, and we are. But what my job is to educate the American public on the root cause of the fentanyl that is destroying our society. And it's the fentanyl precursors. And I literally just got off the phone with the Indian government. I said, I need your help. This stuff's coming into your country. And then they're moving it from your country because India is not consuming fentanyl. They're not. No one's dying over there from fentanyl. But I need you and your help. So my FBI's over there working with the heads of their government, law enforcement authorities to say, we're going to find these companies that buy it, and we're going to shut them down. We're going to sanction them. We're going to arrest them where we can. We're going to indict them in America if we can. We're going to indict them in India if we can. Start indicting in places like Canada and the UK and England and Australia. This is a global problem. And the reason it's gotten so bad.
It's going to be so hard to stop this shit because look how many countries he's talking about. Y'all know how hard it is to really crack down on all these motherfuckers? Yo, it's just wild.
That is because nobody did anything for 4 years. People are like, how do they stand this up? Well, if you give the CCP, who has an endless amount of money to deploy in human capital, that's what happens. It metastasizes.
Why didn't anybody do anything for 4 years? Have you been able to figure that out?
Look, to me, I'm a national security guy, and anything that kills 100,000 people a year is a national security crisis.
100,000 people a year. Dang.
Right? It's what we call a tier 1 threat. And the last administration did not classify the drug trafficking enterprise as a prime threat against the American people. And so what happens is you reorient the system of intelligence collection operations. I mean, I'm not making this up. They said climate change is our biggest priority. DEI is our biggest priority. I mean, you guys have heard this and you've had guests on that say it. But these are the ramifications in real life. I only have X amount of people that can target something, right? Same with the CIA, same with the DOD. But if the United States government and Uncle Sam and your commander-in-chief said, hey, I need your X amount of people looking here, I can't clone that army to look back at fentanyl.
Right.
Plus, we have to follow the chain of command.
So there's like so many different things going on that they don't have enough people to really move it around, and they're trying to finagle that. But when everything is a priority, nothing is a priority. So this shit is wild.
So crazy that they would say climate change and DEI were the priorities for the FBI.
Well, for the government.
In total.
So I'll give you a better example. So I was, in the end of the last Trump administration, I was chief of staff of the Department of Defense. One of the greatest jobs. At the time, I thought the greatest job I'd ever have. And when we left, we said, hey, Iran's a huge threat. We got to never let up on the counterterrorism mission. We still have hostages out there we got to find and bring home. And the narcotics mission is a big priority. We handed off our playbook and we said, look, this is not a political issue. This is protecting the American people and our allies. So we hope you guys continue this effort. So the DOD has this thing called CONOPS, Concept of Operations. The Department of Defense has 3 million employees, and a CONOP is how you move the machine of the Department of Defense. Hey, we have a threat in Indo-PACOM. How many carrier groups are we sending down there? We got a threat with government X. What are we doing operationally, kinetically? What are we doing intelligence collection? That's a CONOP. The first concept of operation that the Biden administration launched at the Department of Defense was on climate change.
Wow.
You can't make this shit up.
Wow.
What do you think that's all about? Like, as an outsider, as someone like looking at it going,
Okay, so I don't know how big climate change is. I'm not going to lie to you, but is it killing 100,000 people a year? I don't know.
just don't understand. Like, where's the profit in this? Like, what's the motive? Like, what would incentivize all these people to get on board with it without someone logically stepping in and saying, hey, this is not our top priority?
I can't swear at him, Ed. Probably not. This is sick.
I think so that was something I tried to answer when I was out of government for the last 4 years before I took this job. And the answer laid in the first Trump term. We were doing things so effectively on national security that hadn't been done before in such speed and volume.
And remember, he's saying they were doing things so effectively. That means within the Trump administration, shit was going.
That the media hated us for it because the other party had tried to do it and failed. And
Like,
so,
what thing specifically?
So when it comes to, hostages, I could talk about that forever too. It used to be counterterrorism was a big portfolio. I ran it for the White House and National Security Council in the first Trump administration. We brought home, people don't know this, President Trump in his first term brought home and rescued over 50 hostages and detainees from around the world. That's more than every president before him combined.
Wow. Y'all don't even understand. That's from around the world. Shit's crazy.
Wow.
Did you hear about
Not a peep.
the successes of reuniting families with lost loved ones from Africa and the Middle East, or these operations that the president was courageous enough to greenlight to go into places like Afghanistan and do these hostage rescue ops and use SEAL Team 6 and Delta, or take out guys like Baghdadi and Soleimani? President Trump's directive was simple. We are going to protect the homeland. We're not.
Okay, so right now I'm going to end it right here. I'm gonna make another part 2 to this. And I might make it part 2, part 3 right now, because right now I want to end it on the fentanyl, so that way it doesn't take, like, everything else doesn't take over, because that was a big portion, a lot of information he just said. So I'm gonna take time for y'all to digest this, and I'm gonna give y'all part 2 next time. But yo, fentanyl is crazy, man. Did not know it was this deep. I knew it was deep, but this is so hard. It's like the knot that has to be untangled. You need to use like fucking tweezers. That shit might not work. Fucking like you fuck around. You fuck around, might have to get rid of the whole thing, because that knot is just so tight. And it's so directed towards the American citizens that it's so hard to get rid of that shit, man. It's so hard, bro. And the fact that he's trying to, and he's being successful at it, just shows how intelligent the Americans, FBI, CIA, government, everything that he's part of actually is, man. That shit is fucking wild. And how much authority people really have for this to even work a little bit. Because if something is killing 100,000 Americans a year, then that's definitely a tier 1 threat to me. I don't know about y'all, but that's definitely a tier 1 threat. So, yo, don't forget to, this is King Timmons. We signing out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, feel me, watch the other videos. We're going to come back with a part 2 soon, man. Feel me, I'm out.